This video will cover the challenges features within the Raydiant Employee Experience platform. To begin, we'll navigate over to the challenges. And before we create anything, we'll look at some overarching rules that apply to all the challenges. The first is that all of the challenges are based off of leaderboards, and specifically the primary metric of each leaderboard. So in order to have a challenge, you need to have a leaderboard with the correct metric and the correct people on that leaderboard in order for the challenge to work. This lets the system compare apples to apples as far as scoring goes. The next thing to consider is that during the challenge, the system is going to count your score as the change in that primary metric. If the current leaderboard you're using has scores from before the challenge, those will not be considered part of the challenge. Everyone will start at 0 when the challenge starts, and the system will measure how that primary metric changes during the challenge. The last thing to consider is that the leaderboard you're using should span the entire length of the challenge. That means if you have a daily leaderboard, the numbers are going to reset to 0 every day. You would not hold a weekly challenge on this board because every day your scores will go back to 0 and it will show as a negative number on your challenges. If for some reason you ever see a negative number, the reason for that is that your leaderboard has reset to 0 sometime during your challenge. Now we'll go into some more specifics about the different challenges that we have. The first is face-offs, which is one person against one person or one team against one team, depending on the type of leaderboard, for a period of up to 7 days. This is a 24-hour day length, and this is the only challenge that can be started by the players themselves. The races, battles, and tournaments are for everyone on the leaderboard. The races are a race to a target value, and when that target value is acquired, the race ends. The battles are a specific time, meaning it starts at a specific time and ends at a specific time, and the winner is who has scored the most during that time period. The tournaments are similar to NCAA March Madness tournaments. You can have up to 32 matchups, so 64 players on that board, where you will go through a series of rounds with single elimination bracket play. Now let's get into some of the actual challenges. As I mentioned earlier, the face-offs are the one challenge that can be started by the players, and that happens in the scoreboard area. In the scoreboard area, you'll have a list of all the leaderboards that you are a player of. When you click into one of those leaderboards, you see the scores, but you also have the ability to challenge someone over on the right-hand side. You can choose who you would like to challenge by clicking on the name. And then once you've determined who you're going to challenge, you press challenge. Select the time period that you're going to challenge for and talk some trash. Once you invite that person, they'll receive an email stating that if they've been invited to a challenge, they can accept or decline, and at that point the challenge will either start or go away. If you are an admin, you can set the challenges off on your own. A challenge will always be initiated in the top right corner, and you'll simply initiate and fill out whatever required information there is. We'll run through these quickly, but it's all pretty much plug and play. You choose your leaderboard, choose your players, decide if it's going to be a single or recurring, choose your duration, start your challenge. It'll tell you when it's going to end. You can put in a message, choose to play the player's song or no song, have an email sent out, and then award points if desired. That is the face-offs. For the races, you'll initiate, give it a name, choose your leaderboard, choose all participants on your leaderboard or just some, put in your target value, choose single or recurring races, when it's going to start, and this will also allow you to set an end date in case you would like it to end at a specific time, at which point, if the target value has not been acquired, then it will end and the person closest to that target will be the winner. When the target is acquired during the course of a race, the race ends immediately and everyone is ranked out based on where they are in relation to the leader. You'll also choose winner song, email or not, and then you can add points as well. For the races and battles, you can add points for up to the top 5 positions. For the battle, you'll initiate, give it a name, pick your board, all your participants or just some of them, when it's going to start, when it's going to end, your time zone, winner song or no, email notification, and points. This is the most simple of the challenges, but it also is the most widely used because many times we would like to have a challenge that starts at a specific time and ends at a specific time. Lastly is the tournaments. You'll give it a name and choose your board. You can only have 64 players on your tournament, so the system will take the top rank 64 players, or you can choose your own. It's going to build your brackets. The system is trying to go for 32 matchups, then 16, then 8, then 4, then 2. If you do not have one of those even numbers, it is going to try to get you there so that it can continue on to a final matchup championship game. So you may end up with a play-in round or a bye. In this case, we have all of the spots filled out, but if we wanted to change who the matchups were against, we would simply click on the person and change who they are until you have everyone chosen. Once you've filled out your bracket and it's to your liking, you'll choose next. You'll fill in your rounds. What's important to note about the rounds is that the next round has to start at least 5 minutes later than the previous round ends. That is because the system needs to figure out who is moving on to the next round. And in the event of a tie, it has to determine who is going to move forward. The tournament does give you tie treatment clauses where you choose whether you want to advance the person with a higher rank on the leaderboard or the person with a greater rank improvement. You'll decide that as you're setting it up, and the system will do the rest for you as it plays. You notice that the points are also available for each round, but remember that when you give out points in the first round, you're giving them to everyone who moves to the next round. So every winner gets that same amount of points. So you're giving out way more during round 1 than you are in round 6. You'll choose your winner song and email notification. That is how you set up the different challenges. The next thing is how you would see what is happening during the challenges. And there are multiple places and ways to see this. If your leaderboard is in your channel and it's in as a classic display type or multi-board display type, the challenge updates will play after the top 3 of the classic or after the multi-board scores go. It's going to alternate between the challenge updates and the top movers. If you would like to turn off the top movers in the advanced settings of the leaderboard, there is an option to hide insights. The insights is the top movers, and you can turn those off while your challenges is running. You can also see your challenge scores in the scoreboard area under challenges. Here, if you click into any challenge, it is going to give you the score at that point in time. So you can always get the current scores by going into the scoreboard area. Additionally, if you're using our Slack or Microsoft Teams integration, you can send out notifications at the start and finish of challenges. Your people will also receive emails if you've chosen the option to send out emails at the start and end of every challenge. That covers the basics on our challenge features. If you need help, you can always reach us at the Chat with an Expert button or at support@raydiant.com. Thank you.